There we go. New live stream. The old live stream never existed. I think this is going to be better. It's more connected. I think the Wi-Fi here sometimes it's iffy. You know, like sometimes it works, but when it comes to live streams and stuff like that, it's kind of, you know, you get that feeling. You get that feeling people are coming in, but it's not. There. It's just like the numbers are weird, and yeah, all the details. But that's my whole point here as I was talking about slipping into that rebel flow is like a lot of you are entrepreneurs who are meant to shake the system. Like that's what you were meant to do. And when you learn from internet marketers or coaches where they tell you like this is the exact formula you need to follow, or this is what you need to do, or you need a price point at this specific this specific price, and if it's not aligned to you, it's going to knock you out of that alignment, and you're not going to feel like you can produce content effortlessly. You're not going to feel like you can launch effortlessly. You're not going to feel like you can be in your power, your magnetizing power when you show up online. So when I thought of Rebel Flow, what's up? What's up? Heart. um, when I was thinking of Rebel Flow, it's like something that's been on my journey, and I took that from my journey around being an entrepreneur. Hey Sabrina, what's up? What's up, Cher Kurt? I'm always going to call you Cher Kurt. But in my journey, when I first joined, like when I first started coaching, I remember, you know, beforehand I was doing purely comedy and stuff. Like I was always an artist and an entertainer. And when I got into coaching, I thought, okay, now I need to be professional. Now I need to join the dots. Now I need to do this a certain way of what these internet marketers are telling me to do on the internet, or what these coaches are telling me to do, or I have to sell in a certain way. And all that corporate mindset came in. And I think we all I probably face the corporate mindset a lot less, but I notice like a lot of entrepreneurs will have this corporate mindset and they'll think, okay, now that I'm making money, I have to be serious. Now that I'm making money, I have to put on this image, this professional image for people to respect me. And that's furthest from the truth. Because when you're in that rebel flow, like the why that brought you to your business in the first place, that's what's infectious. That's what brings people in. And that was my thought process. I came up with this 30 days of rebel flow thing, and that's in the caption above here. Like it's like a short-term one-on-one container that I created. But when I was walking Katie, and I thought of that, I was like 30 days of rebel flow. And what does that mean? It's like getting you into that rebel flow. Like when you feel yourself over analyzing things, when you feel like you're out of alignment when you're creating content and you don't know what to do, or if you're mentally masturbating about what you want to sell or how you want to sell it, that container helps you bring that stuff up to the surface and clear it out so you can operate in your business and you can create the results you desire. And this is the type of stuff like going from feeling stagnant and having a few clients sign up for your launch or no clients sign up to your launch to 30 people signing up like right then and there. Like that's what the rebel flow is, because what it is what I see a lot of entrepreneurs do is they take on these strategies they may have learned from a coach or they learned from a free masterclass or whatever, and you got to be careful about the information that you obtain, because when it's head-based information, when it's information coming from an insecure place, then it's going to confuse you, and there's conflicting information, and then when you have so much information loaded up, then you're not able to take action. And that's what I see a lot. It's like this conflicting information where it's like, oh, well, I have in my heart, I believe that I can go out and share this content in this way where it feels free and light, and I don't have to worry about all the join the dot marketing sequences or the 3-part video series or anything like that. Like I get to share what's in my heart and what I've been called to share. But then you listen to a coach, or you, out of insecurity, you listen to someone else who said, no, you had to do it this way. Email is dead, or social media is dead, or if you don't have an email list, you're screwed. Or if you don't get someone on the call, then you can't sell to them. Or, you had to play this fake qualifying process where you hide the price and all this stuff. And what that does is you're choosing a sales process out of alignment. One thing that that really got me in a rut when I started out was I remember it went on for a long time because I kept getting conflicting information. I remember I was wondering, should I sell on the phone, or should I sell through Facebook Messenger or my content? And I was just wondering, because I saw on one side of the things, it's like, no, you had to sell on the phone. Like, that's the only way you can sell your programs. And then I saw other people doing it a different way. And then I would question, was that only at a certain price point or stuff like that? So I found my flow, my rebel flow of what felt good for me to sell and create powerful content and things like that. But then I was so concerned with the rules and stuff like that. So, but when you're in your rebel flow, when you're not worrying about all the, systems and processes and getting things perfect, that's when things start to click for you. You start creating content where you don't care about the engagement. And ironically, when you don't care about the engagement, then that's when you get the most engagement and you become most visible. You do things where you're not putting all your weight on one thing, and you're doing it from a place of flow and abundance instead of scarcity and hoping like this thing works out, or hoping I get these clients, or doing things that drain your life energy. Yeah, analysis paralysis for sure. And you've came in and you became an entrepreneur as a rebel. Like, that's why you didn't want to have the regular 9 to 5 job. You didn't want to join the dots. You didn't want to have a business in a box. You first came here wanting to be free. Like, freedom was one of your first values. So when you get these systems and formulas and you see all these people are telling you how you're supposed to do it, it's going against your natural flow, like who you naturally are and why you created it. And while I support systems, I definitely support having some type of structure and system. I support having strategy, and I support, knowing what you need to do to talk to your ideal client. There's a better way. It doesn't have to be so analytical. It doesn't have to be so head-based. It doesn't have to take out your freedom. It doesn't have to put you in a box. It doesn't have to limit you. And that's the biggest thing. Like, when I was starting out, I was a dating coach, and I thought that was the only thing I could do, and I feel called to do more and help my clients in a different way. And I would always get into my head about it, because it's like, am I being focused? Am I being bad? Am I going too general? And I was on the fence for this thing for a while of, do I go back to dating coaching and just focus on that and stick in the niche, or am I going to answer my soul's calling and know that there's a wider range of what I want to do for the world? And when you stick to that safe zone, you can find a little bit of success, but there's always going to be what you truly want to be out there. And no matter how many times you ignore that calling, it's going to come back and slap you in the head, like slap you across the head. So for a while, when I stepped into that new version of myself and what I wanted to do, and speaking my real true message, which was like, that's what the spiritual smartass was born. And I was like just dealing with all this conflicting things, like, well, no one knows what a spiritual smartass is, or you got to do it this way, or you have to stick into one niche and know that one thing that you help people with. And it was just a battle for me, because I was like, okay, apparently I'm supposed to do this, but it doesn't help me feel free. It doesn't help me feel in flow. And whenever I unleash on my content and I don't overthink about it, I feel good. So what I highly recommend is, if you feel like a rebel and you feel the same way, is to have a bit of structure for your programs and focus like on everything, and share, like, give your love through that program and know your story in that one program. Like, that's powerful. But just knowing that you are the niche and you are the brand, that you don't have to put yourself in a box ever, and you're always growing, you're always expanding, and it doesn't always have to be perfect. You don't have to have the perfect hero's journey to put out there or anything like that. You're always having a conversation online, and it's always fresh, it's always new. You're always putting new inspired ideas out there. And a lot of times when people first get on a call with me, there's a lot of stuff that they need to clear out, or there's a lot of stuff that they feel like they're supposed to do that we just say, hey, you don't have to do that anymore. So let's be clear, you don't have to do a Facebook group, you don't have to do a video series, you don't have to do it through email, you don't have to have the perfectly crafted content word for word. It's all about your energy and how you show up. And when you can tap into that rebel flow, and energetically you're connecting with your soul aligned clients, then it becomes a lot easier. It's not as analytical. If it feels hard, then it's wrong. Like, if the selling process feels hard, or if you're trying to get the sale or something like that, then it's wrong. I mean, not wrong, but off course. I don't want to use a word like saying, oh, it's wrong and you shouldn't do it. Like, I don't want to put shame around it, but it's off course of you being in your natural flow. Can you talk a little bit about how you let go of doing it to make money and having the mindset of just doing it for fun? Absolutely. So, hey, if you have, worries about the money coming in or anything like that, that's understandable. But you want to put yourself in the space of knowing that you're taken care of, and really being open about all the possibilities in your life of how things can come together. So you want to get yourself in that abundant state. And if it seems way too overwhelming at the time, think in a general sense of like all the things that are going right in your life. Because when we worry about something, or when we're trying to get something, we have that tunnel vision on the thing that's going wrong, but there's always thousands of things going right in our life. So first, energetically, you just want to be in that space where you're enjoying the stuff that you don't have a heavy emotional charge on. For instance, if I'm taking my dog for a walk, it helps me to get my mind off business sometimes. If I'm really focused on filling slots up in a program or anything like that, I go general and I think of how comfortable my bed is, or the things I appreciate when I'm taking my dog for a walk, or just taking it slow. I just enjoy the little things in life that I don't have a heavy emotional charge to, or I'll focus on the energy that's going right with my content. Like, one big thing, when I put out a program, or when my clients put out a program, one big thing is that first sale. It's like I don't have anyone in my program yet. And what I advise for that energetically is to look at the people who engage with it. Look at the people who've inquired about it. Look at the people who even just, gave you a like or gave you a compliment about your launch. And focus on that. Focus on that thing going right, instead of looking at that empty space or the sales not coming in or whatever. And then going into writing your content is, when you write your content, you want to ask yourself, what do I most want to express right now? You don't ask yourself, how am I going to sell this product? You're like, what do I most want to express in my heart right now? For instance, I just felt called to express my life experiences these past 2 years on Facebook, and I wasn't asking for I wasn't really expecting to get any engagement or anything like that. Good morning. It's Terrible Thursday though. I was going to be like Happy Wednesday, but it's Terrible Thursday. But I wrote that post just kind of like my story, because I felt like it needed to be told. And I had a client talking about, she was going through a few things. And it just kind of brought me back to this past year of in 2017 going through the breakup, and then losing my mom and my grandmother in the same year and all that, and how my life is forming now. Like, it feels like a celebration that, we're getting a permanent place in December and all that stuff. And I wanted to express that, But it wasn't from a place of like, hey, let me find engagement or something like that. It was like, this just feels in my heart for something for me to express. Yeah, take it back. Wait till Forgive Me Friday. But when I posted that, I wasn't expecting a lot of engagement. I thought it would resonate with a few people. But then it kind of, like hundreds of people liked it and commented and celebrated it. So my point there was I wasn't trying to sell anything. I wasn't trying to brand myself. I wasn't trying to like bring someone through a hero's journey. I just felt like in that moment from a private conversation that I had that I wanted to remind people to have that tenacity, whatever is going on in your life, because things will start shifting in the right way if you start like disengaging from all your circumstances, not ignoring it, not refusing to face it or anything, but disengaging and staying in that positive state. I just felt that was an important message. So going back to you writing your content, is every morning you want to give yourself that space, maybe even some quiet time. Maybe you go for a walk. I shouldn't be saying that around Katie. She might go crazy, but she's pretty tired. She didn't even get up. She's not even phased. But give yourself that quiet time where you're in receptive mode, when you can feel that inspiration come through. Yeah, disengage from it. And it's like, it's not necessarily sticking your head in the sand. You're just deciding to look at the good things that are going on and deciding not to worry about the stuff you don't have control over right in that moment. And that's going to help you as a whole with your inspiration and content, because you're going to be coming from a different energy. But what I do is like, when I write posts, I'm asking myself what is coming through right now, instead of asking what is going to help me make the sale for this program. And I might write something random and, it's not fully about the program or anything like that, and still have a call to action on that post. And actually, I've done live streams and stuff where it wasn't really like covering business or relationships. I was just kind of going off on my random thoughts. And even that was something that helped clients get off the fence and say, hey, I want to work with you, because it showed part of my personality. So what if you treated your content like a canvas and you brought the art back into your content? And of course, there's a bit of strategy. There's, the thing that I offer with my one-on-one teaching is looking over your content and helping you get focused on who your ideal client is and helping them and assisting them. Of course, there's that bit in there. But when you look at it like a canvas and you get into that creative flow, even with your sales page, and you don't try to get it perfect, word for word perfect, like, oh my God, I need to get every single word perfect to convert people, then people can feel that. Because it's really all about people feeling what your story was and why you're doing it and why you're bringing it to the marketplace, rather than, oh my God, she said all the right words and she gave all the right details and logistics for every single step of the program. I need to buy this. Like, no, people buy off emotion, and then they justify through the details. They justify it through the details. So you want to put the emotion first. Like, what inspires you about it? Why is it that you want to create this program, or why is it that you want to help people in this capacity? Yeah, you can do like random posts and say, hey, you can segue it in any way possible. Actually, you could even just say, hey, by the way, this is what I have going on. Check out this link. And then another way that I do it sometimes is, if I do write something and it does resonate, say like, hey, if you love this post, you're going to love so-and-so program that I have going on. And if it's something that you don't usually do, I highly recommend doing it to get you out of your comfort zone. Like, if there's any resistance around sales or anything like that, I highly recommend it, because it gets you into that practice. And it also shows your audience that you always have something going on as well. But it gets you into that practice, and it shows you that evidence, like, oh, I presented my program and no one got mad at me, or I did it on a random post and someone bought it. So then you start building that confidence, because I know there's a lot of people who, we all have our different sales shit that comes up. And there's a lot of people who will feel weird about posting a call to action or something like that on their own profile. It's like is it your own home and you're just giving an invitation for something, but there's a lot of resistance for business owners around that. Yet sales is the thing that's going to keep your business alive. So yeah, when you're doing a live stream, especially too, it's like, hey, by the way, I have this going on. And I have my 30 days of getting into that rebel flow going on. That's in my caption. I'm going to post that in the comments right now. Just as an example, it's like there are no rules. Like right there in the middle of the live stream, I said, hey, this is what I have going on. Check it out. And the people that resonates to, they're going to click and they're going to join in to that one-on-one container, or they'll go on the caption above or whatever. And I feel good about that because every time I do a live stream, every time I write on Facebook, I'm providing value. And I'm giving people, that's another thing, because another thing that people talk about is you don't want to give too much information up front. And I don't care. I'll get on a live stream. Thank you. I don't care. I'll get on a live stream and share everything that's on my mind and what I feel would most help. I'm happy with answering any questions. I don't care about holding information back because you have access to all the information you need. I'm not selling information. I'm selling transformation. So if I give out this free, valuable information that you can provide and you can help yourself in your business or in your life, then that's freaking awesome. I'm happy. And I know that people you show up in your business and you call in more clients, and then you want to work with me on a personal level, then that's fucking awesome to just to bring more out of it. Because it's like nothing can replace that custom tailored service that you give to people. And that's the thing that sells. Like anybody can look up more information. You can YouTube it. But the powerful thing about having coaching is that you streamline it. You collapse time. You're not finding like exactly what we talked about in the beginning of this video. Instead of having conflicting information that stops you from taking action, now you have the accountability and the direction and the clarity of knowing, like, now I have something matching who I am. Because this entire time I was on the internet, I felt like no one had the same feelings I've had, or they didn't understand how I was feeling trying to implement their systems. And that's what going into the rebel flow is like finding the answers that you have within, that you've always had within, but then yeah, I should be in national conferences. I'm not selling information, I'm selling transformation. Exactly. Because for the longest time, I've second guessed myself when I was getting information. I remember when I first became a coach, I was told to do multiple different things, like write articles or do this and do that. And I'm like, wait, which one is the right way? I always question myself about which strategy was right. And the thing is people have enough strategies. There's enough, everyone here probably has had enough strategies. The biggest thing right now is implementation and stepping into that next level version of yourself and deciding. Like, I know deciding is, everyone says, just decide. But deciding too, decide, hey, I want to be this next level version of myself. And I want to go through this transformation. I want to trust that my way is going to work. And certainty sells. So when you decide to be certain and in the way that you knew you were meant to do it, and you feel like you've been given that permission, and you just know, okay, this is the way it's going to work, and I'm going to trust this process, that's when you call in your ideal clients, because you're putting out your own personal energy out there. And that's stepping into the place where there is no competition, and you have your set of ideal clients that you were always meant to work with. Because everyone can have a similar message. We all have somewhat similar messages that we say, but you can hear a message from one person and be like, I'm not feeling that. But hear like the exact same message from someone else who says it in a different way, who has a different vibe, and you're like, okay, this is a person for me. Yeah. So that's what I see coaching being, is holding that space so you can find the answers within and stop looking for the answers outside of you. And when you have that integrated, then you have the freedom to move. Now you have the freedom to act on that inspiration. Now you have the freedom of knowing, like, hey, I'm supported now. Like, I have that support. I don't care about who rejects me or who unfriends me or who unfollows me or anything like that. It's like, this is a message I was meant to bring to the world. And you let go of those, the little things of like how many people viewed my video, or how many people liked this post, or how many people joined this launch. And when you let go of that, then that's when it becomes magnetizing. So I have a call coming up soon, so I'll be getting off. But if you want to join me for my 30 days of Rebel Flow, I put it in the comments below. That rhymed. And also in the caption above, I have it on the link, like in a Facebook post link. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to private message me. I'll be seeing you later, maybe doing another video today. And if you haven't checked out my podcast, I don't know why I decided to bring up my podcast, but it's called Who the Fuck is Brandon Marshall on iTunes. So you can type that in iTunes. If you need the link, just let me know. But I'm putting out content on iTunes and YouTube. So if you're on those platforms, check out those platforms. I'll be uploading some of this stuff on the podcast, but also doing some new content as well. Thank you so much, Sabrina. Thank you, Kelly, for being here. And Leslie, good to see you here. And peace out.